He stayed when everyone else left. You won't believe what happened. Have you ever had a moment in life where everything you thought you could depend on suddenly shattered, and the person you least expected to be there was the one who stayed? This isn't just a story about heartbreak. It's about what happens when love doesn't come in the way you planned, but in the way you needed most. My name is Emily Carter, and this is the story of how I lost everything, only to find something far more powerful in the most unexpected place. 3 years ago, my life was ripped apart. My husband, Nathan Carter, had been my world for 12 years. We'd built a home together, filled it with dreams, and even though not every day was perfect, I thought we were steady. When he left for what was supposed to be a simple business trip to London, I never imagined it would be the last time I saw him. He kissed me goodbye at the airport, promised to call, and smiled like he always did. But after that flight took off, silence. Days passed with no calls, no texts, no video chats, nothing. Then one icy morning, I opened my laptop to find an email. It was short, cold, and written like it was meant for a stranger. Emily, I won't be returning. I need to find myself. Please don't look for me. Just like that, 12 years of love, promises, and shared memories crumbled into a few lines on a screen. At first, I sat frozen, unable to even breathe. Then came the anger, hot and searing, and finally, the grief, a wave so strong it dragged me under. The house, once full of laughter, became a tomb. I stopped cooking the meals Nathan loved, stopped playing the guitar he'd given me on our 5th anniversary. I barely left the bed some days. I wasn't living. I was only existing. And then, a week after Nathan disappeared, there was a knock at my door. Standing there was his younger brother, Ethan Carter. His hazel eyes were full of concern, his dark hair tousled from the wind. He didn't say much at first, only, "Emily, do you need anything?" I should have told him to go. I should have shut the door. But I was too exhausted, too broken, and something in his voice was steady in a way that I hadn't felt in weeks. I let him in. Ethan moved around my house quietly, like he understood how fragile I was. He brewed coffee, filling the kitchen with a rich aroma I hadn't smelled in days. He fixed the dripping faucet Nathan had ignored for months. He even took out the overflowing trash without being asked. He didn't push me to talk, didn't judge the silence that hung heavy between us. He was simply there. And in a world that felt like it was falling apart, Ethan became my anchor. Nathan had always been larger than life. Charismatic, loud, the center of attention. He thrived on grand gestures, the kind of man who filled every room he entered. Ethan was different. Quieter. Reserved. His strength wasn't loud, it was calm, steady, dependable. And in those early days of my heartbreak, it was exactly what I needed. Weeks passed, and Ethan kept showing up. Sometimes with groceries, sometimes just to sit beside me while I stared blankly at the TV. He never once made me feel like a burden. One evening, I sat on the porch, wrapped in a sweater, sipping wine while the stars glittered above. Ethan joined me, settling into the chair beside mine. After a long silence, I finally asked, "Why are you doing this? You don't have to fix my life." He looked at me, his eyes steady, his voice low. "I'm not trying to fix you, Emily. I'm here because I care." Those words sank into me deeper than I wanted to admit. For the first time in months, I felt something flicker inside, small, like a candle in the storm, but it was there. And that night, for the first time since Nathan's email, I didn't feel completely alone. As the months rolled by, life slowly crept back into me. I started cooking again. At first, just simple meals. Then, gradually, the recipes I once loved. The kitchen filled with the smell of roasted vegetables, simmering herbs, and laughter I didn't think I'd ever hear again. Ethan's dry humor had a way of slipping past my defenses, making me laugh when I thought I'd forgotten how. I picked up my guitar again, strumming quiet melodies in the evenings. And with every passing day, the distance between us shrank. There was tension, gentle, unspoken, but impossible to ignore. His hand would brush against mine when passing a dish. His eyes would linger a moment too long. And my heart, still bruised, began to stir in ways that terrified me. One night, after a simple pasta dinner by candlelight, I stood at the sink washing dishes while Ethan dried them beside me. We moved in sync, almost like we'd done it 100 times before. I glanced at him, the soft kitchen light tracing the curve of his face, and something shifted. My voice was barely above a whisper. "Don't go yet, Ethan. Just stay a little longer." He paused, towel in hand, then nodded. "Okay." We ended up on the couch, a movie playing in the background, though neither of us watched it. I leaned against him, my head resting on his shoulder, and felt the warmth of his arm around me. For the first time in a long time, I felt safe. When the credits rolled, I whispered, "Don't stop being here, Ethan. I need you." His response was quiet, steady, like a vow. "I won't." From that night on, something between us changed. We didn't name it, didn't define it, but we both felt it. Glances turned longer, touches lingered, and I knew my heart was waking up again. But with that warmth came guilt. Was I betraying Nathan? Or was Nathan the one who betrayed me by leaving? One afternoon, while cleaning the attic, I stumbled upon a box of Nathan's old things. Inside was a sealed letter with my name on it. My hands shook as I opened it. "Emily, I left because I saw the way Ethan looked at you. Even on our wedding day. I couldn't live with the thought that you might love him more. I'm sorry." The letter hit me like a storm. Had I loved Ethan all along without knowing it? Or had Nathan left because he saw something in us we hadn't even admitted? That evening, I handed the letter to Ethan, my voice trembling. "How long have you felt this way?" He didn't look away. His voice was quiet but filled with truth. "Since the day you walked down the aisle. But I buried it, Emily. I respected your marriage. When Nathan left, I couldn't stay away. Not to replace him, but because I couldn't bear to see you alone." Tears blurred my vision. Relief, guilt, love, all of it tangled inside me. "I begged you not to stop," I whispered. "And you didn't." He stepped closer, his presence warm and solid. When he wrapped his arms around me, I finally let go of the guilt. I let myself feel. 3 years have passed since that night. Ethan never stopped showing up. He never stopped caring. Together, we built something new, not from the ashes of what I'd lost, but from the steady promise of a future where I could be whole again. And here's what I've learned: love doesn't always arrive with fireworks or dramatic confessions. Sometimes, it comes quietly, in the moments when someone chooses to stay when everyone else leaves. That's what Ethan did. And that's why, when I look at him now, I know I didn't just survive heartbreak. I found the kind of love that never stops showing up.